time to hear from the coach. Brought to you by Shamrock Office Solutions, a proud partner of St. Mary's Athletics. Well, we knew this one would be physical, but boy, both teams really operated at a high level offensively. You guys in particular, I mean, 57%, I think, 55% for the game. You guys were ready to go.
Yeah, it looked maybe after like 6 or 7 minutes it was going to be about 160 each. I don't think anyone missed. I think in the end the referees need to call a foul so they could slow down and get a breath. But I really thought that our ability to then lock in defensively and start to get some stops was what separated us. It wasn't so much our offense. Our offense was flying nicely, but just been able to put a couple of stops together and then get some transition baskets and it kind of compounded when I went to that 10 points reasonably quickly.
BYU, for a lot of that first half and into the second half, for the most part, had an answer for you, though. I mean, we knew they were a high-level offensive team. And Eric Mika, I mean, he's a handful. He's a handful.
He's a definite handful, but it was clearly where we thought they had less points in them. We thought their perimeter, once they get going, they become difficult to contain, and three's obviously worth more than two. So we gambled on trying to play him single coverage, and look, in the end he made some tough shots. And they weren't all in the post. He stepped out and hit jump shots. He hit a face up off the bank. He hit a right hand, I don't know what it was, a running scoop shot from the left block.
Yeah.
And some of the other guys hit tough shots too. I mean, Emery made one going right with his left hand off the glass from in front, and Bryant was good too. I mean, they're a good team.
Jock kept right with him, though. I mean, boy, what an offensive night for him. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. But it was the way he got those 26 points because he showed off a number of moves.
Yeah, and in the end, probably the difference in the teams in the game was the fact that the centers ended up scoring and cancelling each other out, but Jock had 6 assists.
Right.
And so he got other people involved. Once it sort of went in there, we knew it was going up, and it really probably made our rebounding assignment a little easier because we knew that wasn't coming out again, so it wasn't going to be long threes, long rebounds. It was going to be short shots. Unfortunately, most of them actually went in. But it kept Childs off the glass. He's hard to rebound when the ball is flying around. When it's coming from a short distance, you've got contact, you keep contact, you don't get separated off him, and you can keep going. I think he had an offensive rebound to put back in the first play, and I don't think he got another one for the game. And we were concerned going in about his effect on the glass.
Was Emmett Nahr more aggressive tonight, or was he taking what the defense gave? Because he took 11 shots.
I mean, I thought he probably could have taken a few more, to be honest. But part of it's a zone. They play a 1-3-1 zone, so there's going to be a hole on the return pass at the top of it. And if he can't get that means a forward has to come up and guard him. I mean, we can flick it to the corner quickly. But yeah, I think he has. He's getting to the point where he wants to get back to where he was offensively last year as far as being a scorer. I think his knee's feeling a bit better, and in the end he has to shoulder some of that burden. We can't just have him out there as not a passenger, but a guy who's just passing the ball. He's got to shoot it, and he made some big hoops for us tonight.
His backcourt mate, Joe Rahan. You look at his numbers, but I think the one that stands out to me the most is no turnovers in 39 minutes. I mean, he had 10 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, but the no turnovers, and did he draw? I believe he drew Hawes, if I'm not mistaken. And Hawes was really quiet for the first half, especially.
Phenomenal job on Hawes, and Hawes has been sort of them. We know Emery, we know what he's going to provide. We know Mika, we know what he's going to provide. Hawes is kind of their X factor, and if he plays well, they tend to win. If he's not scoring, then they struggle to score enough points. And as we said, we loaded up on the perimeter, picked our poison, and said, okay, well, Mika's going to score some, but we've got to keep this guy down. And I thought, for the most part, did a really nice job. I mean, Hawes made some tough ones.
Yeah, he did.
And he can snake through places and get into gaps that most people can't get to. And in the end, the shots he made were tough shots. And as coach, we just got to live with him.
Were you expecting to see Elijah Bryant tonight?
No.
I know it was kind of 50-50. I don't even know if he was included in you guys as scout.
No, and we didn't put him on the scout. We knew about him. We know who he is and what he does, and we looked up. But we didn't present him to the players until right before the game, where it was like, okay, this kid is going to play, and this is what he does. And again, he's a good player, really talented for a sophomore, and obviously he was freshman of the year in his previous conference at 14 a game. He's another one in that freshman, sophomore class that they've got, they're going to be good for a long time.
Yeah, they are. He keeps bringing guys in. Good to see Fitz knock down a couple shots, the one early and then the one in the second half here. And I feel like both of those shots were kind of momentum changing. I mean, they were starting to gain a little bit of momentum, and Fitz steps up and knocks down.
Yeah, and he had, I think he had 6 rebounds at halftime, and that's really been our message to him. You've got to be more than just a shooter. You've got to be able to rebound. You've got to be able to defend hard and defend against big bodies or defend against smaller guys you can put on the floor. And he's made a real effort to make some adjustments to his mindset of what he is as a basketballer. And 6 rebounds and a half, and it wasn't like he played 20 minutes at the half. He probably played 9 minutes at the half.
Right.
Was exactly what we asked of him.
What can you say about Calvin Hermanson? He drew Nick Emery, and also chipped in with 15 points. And again, he was part of that aggressiveness that got you guys off on the right foot offensively.
Yeah, I mean, we put him on Emery just for his length and his size. He said he's done a wonderful job on good scorers over the course of this season, and we know Emery's probably the most explosive of the scorers going around in our league. I mean, because he can let it go from such a long range.
Yep.
And he does early in the clock, and it's hard to ask Calvin, hey, Calvin, we want you to go to the offensive glass, and we want you to pick up Emery at the half court line, because if he steps over it, he's probably going to shoot it.
Yeah.
So he did a nice job of doing both those things, and Emmett did a good job of trying to hold the fort until Calvin got back to him.
Crowd tonight here must be
awesome.
They were into it from the very beginning.
Yeah, no, wonderful. And the students would be really upset they weren't here for this one, but it was a great crowd, and this is a great facility for our size school. I mean, and I think the low roof and all the noise stays in the gym, and it's the players love it. You know, obviously as coaching staff we don't kind of notice it too much, but the players, they always get a charge out of having a good crowd in here.
Well, Marty, thanks so much. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you across the bridge in San Francisco on Saturday.
Thanks, AJ.
Marty Clark, brought to you by Shamrock Office Solutions, proud partner of St. Mary's Athletics. And now we're going to bring in our Crown Plaza player of the game. It is Calvin Hermanson. After a 15-point, 2-rebound, 1 assist night in 27 minutes. But Calvin, this was a really, really fun to watch college basketball game in a great atmosphere.
Yeah, I think it was great atmosphere. The packed house tonight really got us going. We love to see that all the time, and it was a great game to play in. It was a fun game to play in. You know, up and down. Players love that. A lot of shots getting up, and try to limit how many shots they got up. But it was a great game.
Well, that's kind of what they do, right? I mean, they and not as much this year as in years past, but they get a shot up quick and they crash the boards. And this, I mean, like it always is between you guys and BYU, this is a physical game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, very physical team, and we knew that coming in. Knew we were gonna have to be tough all 40 minutes, and did a great job of handling their pressure and getting great shots every possession and coming out with a win.
You guys did a great job too of, I thought, taking what the defense gave you. No one was over aggressive. Jock was really good passing out of the post, and that really helped key your offense.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's exactly what Emmett and Joe do, is just figure out what the defense is taking away and take advantage of it. And Jock was a beast down low as always. He had a fun little competition game within a game with Mika tonight, but no, he did great. I'm really proud of him, and obviously the offense was flowing a lot better tonight, and we were feeling good.
I was going to say that must have been a fun game to play in, but that must have been fun for you guys. Just as much fun as it was for everybody else. I mean, those two guys are a freaking handful, man. I mean, and they went toe-to-toe for that entire game. Mm-hmm. And, boy, not only did Jock hold his own, but he comes away with 26 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists.
Yeah, wow, 6 assists.
6 assists, career high.
Look at you, Jock. Wow, that's awesome. Good for him. Yeah, he did a great job in the zone. We were working on practicing against that 1-3-1 all week, and I think it really showed tonight. We were really comfortable out there. Talk
about your defensive assignment tonight in Nick Emery. He's kind of a wild. I mean, he's liable to pull up from anywhere. He's liable to drive at any time. Yeah. What's your approach against a guy like that, a guy that fast, and a guy with that type of streaky shooting ability?
Yeah, it's tough because you really never know when he's going to pull up and shoot it. Honestly, I just tried to get up in him every closeout and try and limit his 3-point shots. Never want to get him going from 3, and then try and limit his penetration. But in the second half, I think we did a good job of kind of sticking to him. I lost him one time in the first half, and then I tried to make sure he didn't get any more 3s. Or if he was going to take him, I wanted to make sure that I had a hand there and it was going to be a tough shot.
It seemed like you guys made a concentrated effort tonight of getting a lot of bodies on the offensive glass, and you had a couple of key offensive rebounds. Was that part of the game plan tonight, or was that just kind of what was there?
Coaches have been on me to get on the glass a little bit more, and so tonight I don't know if they weren't boxing out much or what the deal was, but it was great to take advantage of my opportunities and ball falls in my lap, why not?
Yeah, why not? A couple of putbacks, too. 6 of 14 from the floor, 15 points. And now you took 25 threes. Last 2 games have been a little bit lower in that, 13 threes and 15 threes. I asked Marty this before the game. Did LMU and San Diego really try and take away the three-point shot for you guys? And is that something you were seeing here tonight where BYU was slower closing out and really trying to take away the middle?
Yeah, I think so. The previous 2 games, they probably scouted us. You know, we banged a lot of threes in non-conference, and that's probably something they had on their board. And yeah, tonight we just did a great job of moving the ball inside and out, and I think that's what got us the flow in the offense, and we were able to knock down shots and beat them on the boards as well.
Well, this one's got to feel good for you guys. You got about a couple hours to enjoy it before you turn your attention to San Francisco, but congratulations. Yep. You guys played really well tonight on a big stage. That's a nice win for you.
Yep, thanks, AJ.
Absolutely. That's Calvin Hermanson, our Crown Plaza player of the game. We are lucky enough to be joined by we just talked about your title, right? It's Ryan McCrary from the West Coast Conference. We just talked about your title. What do you prefer?
I've always preferred generalissimo de information de Atletico, but that doesn't really fit on the business card.
Is that English?
No. Generalissimo should be the dead giveaway. But no, I've been working at the West Coast Conference for this is my 4th basketball season, and I'm the director of communications. I think they threw an assistant commissioner title on there as well, but
not bad.
I'm the same guy. I promise.
Well, I know one thing. Your name is frequently seen in my inbox. I know that much.
Yes. Adjust your spam filters accordingly.
Well, hey, listen, so far in this one, boy, two teams playing at a pretty high level. St. Mary's offensively is operating at a level I haven't seen them for this long of a period of time, Ryan. It probably since before the UT Arlington game. What are your takeaways so far here in Moraga? Two heavyweights in this conference going toe-to-toe.
This is West Coast Conference basketball at its finest right here. 2 teams that are very structured offensively, just throwing one haymaker at the other, throwing one haymaker after the other at each other. And I saw a tweet come through that said, "I want to be as patient in life as St. Mary's is on offense." And I just looked at that and I thought that's about perfect because St. Mary's is so patient. They've had numerous situations in this one where they've run the clock all the way down to the wire, gotten a quality shot still, and that has to drive BYU crazy defensively because they've put together 27 good seconds, but in the final 3, St. Mary's gets a quality look.
It's really 2 kind of separate offensive philosophies. Now BYU has slowed down a little bit this year. Not like in years past because they have the personnel to do so, but boy, there's a couple times I have my head down riding a bucket and someone's back on the other end, with a layup for BYU.
Yeah, and BYU has a little bit better speed than I think some people give them credit for. Nick Emery is one of the faster human beings I've ever seen. He dribbles the ball at an extremely high breakneck speed, and it's a challenge for anybody to keep in front of him. And we've seen him break away a few times tonight. But, credit to St. Mary's, they continue to get back. They continue to get numbers back, which is what you have to do against this BYU team. They don't have that elite scorer, but what they have this year is one of the best post players in the conference, which this year now all of a sudden features 4 or 5 of them instead of the 2 or 3 that we're used to seeing in years past.
I challenge anyone who doesn't think that mid-major in quotations, of course,
yes.
Mid-major basketball is not physical. I invite them to come watch a St. Mary's BYU game. Every time these 2 teams go at it, Ryan, it gets really physical.
It absolutely does. And you insert Mika into any scenario, and that is a load down there. You have him colliding with Landale, and you know what? Those are 2 very large bodies going at it with reckless abandon, and it's pretty exciting and fun to watch.
Now, you're in your 3rd, 4th year at the conference?
This is my 4th basketball season.
4th basketball. Now, you were at USF before. I remember when I first started doing this stuff. You were at USF down to Pepperdine. But now with the West Coast Conference, what can we kind of look forward to this year? I mean, obviously the conference tournament is always a lot of fun. It's just fun I think it's nice to get everybody underneath one roof and just watch some quality basketball.
Yeah, we're so excited about our partnership with the Orleans Arena. We are back at the Orleans Casino Resort in Las Vegas in the arena there. There are some new improvements for the fan experience going into this season. HD center hung scoreboard will be a new feature which will allow us to do a whole lot of more interesting, exciting in-game elements, and we're just excited to have another great event out in Vegas once again.
And this year, really, at least preseason coming into this year, kind of a banner year for the WCC. The top three, now BYU is starting to round a form here. They've won 4 in a row. They started off a little bit slow. They are young, relatively young, but St. Mary's and Gonzaga both being ranked to start the season. Pardon me. Been battling a cold a little bit lately. Don't worry, I'm not contagious. You're sitting far enough away from me anyway.
Yes.
But to start the season, 2 ranked teams. Can you think of a time that's happened in West Coast Conference, having 2 preseason ranked teams?
The West Coast Conference has never had a situation where they've had 2 teams ranked in both polls in the preseason. Trust me, I've checked. And
extensively, I'm sure.
This is the 9th straight week 2 teams have been in the top 20, which is also another conference record. So, we're extremely excited and proud of the product that our conference is rolling out. We are positioned very well for postseason consideration. We expect the Gales to be in. We expect the Bulldogs to be in, and now it's just a matter of determining, who is there a next team lurking out there. BYU certainly has a reputation of doing that, but who will challenge for that third and 4th spot, and who can possibly put some games together in March in Vegas.
And it's interesting you say that, because I think, having seen LMU and San Diego play this year, I think the bottom of the conference is stronger, Ryan. I mean, I think we're getting more talent into the WCC. We talked before the game about, how many quality coaches are now coming into the league, to fill out the rest. I mean, because 4 to 10 the last few years has really kind of been a roll of the dice, like you said. But I think you're starting to see some guys come in and establish some programs. Kyle Smith at San Francisco, Herb Sendek at Santa Clara, Terry Porter up at Portland.
Exactly, and what's so exciting about it from a conference perspective is you've got coaches in place that are recognizable names in our community, and also in college basketball and basketball circles. And Herb Sendek has won 400 plus games.
Yeah.
We have multiple coaches that have won at least 200 games in their Division I careers, and that's something the conference hasn't had for a while. And it says nothing but good things about the stability of the conference. And I really think that that there will be challenges to the top 3 in the coming years. Possibly not this year, but down the road, teams are just going to have to work that much harder. That's going to improve the RPI. That's going to improve our opportunities to get multiple teams in the tournament each and every year.
I thought Mark Few had a great quote at the end of last year, saying, "Hey, listen, I mean, we have played these teams, St. Mary's and BYU. These are top 68 teams, and I think once the 4 through 10, we don't have multiple RPIs down, but below 250. That's when we'll start to see, strings of 2-3 bid years."
Exactly, and that's kind of what everybody is chasing, especially the quote unquote mid majors.
Yep.
But you know what? I think the West Coast Conference is closer to that goal than ever before, and I think next year has an opportunity to be another great year. A lot of exceptional young talent in this conference.
Yep, trending upward, no doubt about it. Ryan McCrary, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. We look forward to having you back on when you're in Moraga, or when we see you, because, this isn't the only place I see you. We'll just put it. You're going up to Portland, Nate, this weekend.
Yes, I am. I am going to be up there for some Zags and pilot action, and I understand freezing rain is on the forecast, so I may be Ubering.
We'll have that next weekend. Ryan McCrary, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ryan McCrary of the West Coast Conference. We will see him in Las Vegas, and probably not the last time you'll catch him on a broadcast this year.